The drama surrounding Papoose, Remy Ma, and everything happening around them seems to get more complicated every day. While New York was celebrating the Knicks and fans across the city were enjoying the excitement, Papoose found himself becoming the center of a completely different conversation online. Instead of being out enjoying the moment with everyone else, he appeared on Instagram in what many viewers described as an emotional and somewhat confusing live stream. People watching noticed that he seemed to be sitting alone, though nobody really knew where he was. Some speculated it was his own place, while others wondered if it was a property connected to Remy Ma. Regardless of the location, what caught everyone's attention was his appearance and the tone of his comments. He looked tired, had a drink nearby, and spent a lot of time talking about people taking things from him and other issues that many viewers struggled to understand. Rather than celebrating the Knicks' success, he seemed focused on personal frustrations, which immediately sparked discussion among fans and bloggers. At first, most people were focused on breaking down his comments and trying to figure out what exactly he meant. However, the conversation quickly shifted when news surfaced that Papoose had released a new Knicks championship song. That announcement raised even more questions because reports suggested that the track was produced by Swizz Beatz. Naturally, fans started wondering how that collaboration came together. Some people even questioned whether Swizz Beatz was actively involved in promoting the song, because his recent social media activity appeared focused on other major New York-related music moments. In the past, Papoose had frequently tagged Swizz Beatz while promoting his own New York-themed remixes, even when he wasn't part of the original records. Meanwhile, Swizz continued highlighting classic New York anthems and celebrating artists who have long been associated with the city's music culture. Around the same time, several well-known figures from New York's entertainment scene were embracing the Knicks celebration in their own way. Remy Ma, Alicia Keys, Fabulous, and French Montana were all posting photos and videos connected to the excitement surrounding the team. Many of them showed off custom Knicks-inspired jackets and participated in the citywide celebration. Papoose, however, chose a different approach by creating and releasing his own championship anthem. There's nothing wrong with an artist wanting to contribute music during a major cultural moment, but the timing led many people to connect his release to the attention surrounding Remy Ma's recent success. A lot of the discussion traces back to the growing popularity of the Ever Since You Left remix featuring French Montana, Max B, and Remy Ma. The remix has generated significant attention, and many people believe Papoose has been bothered by the positive response it has received. Whether that's true or not, observers have noticed that he seems more vocal whenever the song gains momentum. There have even been rumors that he may have tried to prevent Remy Ma from participating in the project, although no solid proof has emerged to confirm those claims. As with many celebrity stories, speculation often spreads faster than verified information, making it difficult to separate facts from assumptions. Things became even more interesting when Papoose posted the famous Touch It remix, a song that helped build his reputation years ago. Many interpreted the post as a reminder of his accomplishments and influence in hip-hop. However, the reaction online was not entirely supportive. Instead of celebrating his past achievements, many commenters encouraged him to move forward and allow Remy Ma to enjoy the spotlight she was receiving. The responses suggested that a growing number of people viewed his actions as a reaction to her success, rather than a celebration of his own career. The situation gained another layer when ESPN and ABC reportedly embraced the Ever Since You Left remix as part of their Knicks-related coverage. A special version connected to the Bronx and the Knicks brought even more attention to the song, with French Montana adjusting portions of his performance to fit the occasion. That kind of exposure is extremely valuable for any artist. When major sports networks use a song during broadcasts and promotional content, millions of viewers are introduced to it. The result is often a major increase in streams, downloads, and overall visibility. As the remix continued climbing charts and gaining traction, reports indicated that it reached the top position on iTunes in multiple categories. Remy Ma also shared that the song had been added to a major hip-hop playlist on Spotify, creating another opportunity for listeners to discover it. Every new achievement seemed to generate more excitement around the record, and that only intensified conversations about Papoose's response. Soon afterward, he released his own Knicks-themed track, leading many people to compare the two situations. Some critics argued that he was trying to create an alternative anthem, because he was unhappy with the attention surrounding Remy Ma's success. Others felt that he simply wanted to participate in the city's celebration and release music that reflected his love for New York. Both interpretations gained support online depending on which side of the debate people favored. The numbers also became part of the discussion. Early view counts on YouTube were relatively modest, causing some observers to question whether the release was connecting with listeners. Critics used those figures to argue that the song wasn't generating the same excitement as the remix associated with Remy Ma. Supporters, however, pointed out that every song starts somewhere, and that judging a release too quickly isn't always fair. At the center of all this is a larger question. Would Papoose have released this Knicks anthem if Remy Ma had not been receiving so much attention from the remix? That's what many people are asking. Some believe the timing is simply too convenient to ignore. Others think he's being unfairly criticized, and that artists frequently release music tied to major events. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain. The public is paying close attention. Every move made by Papoose and Remy Ma is being analyzed, debated, and discussed across social media. And the story doesn't appear to be slowing down anytime soon. As I look at everything that has happened, I honestly don't believe Papoose would have released this particular Knicks anthem if all the attention wasn't currently surrounding Remy Ma. That's just my opinion, but the timing feels very hard to ignore. If this song was truly about celebrating New York and the Knicks, it seems like he could have waited for a more natural moment, such as the official championship parade or another major event connected to the team's success. Instead, it feels like the track was rushed out as quickly as possible. What makes people question the timing even more is that he already had a New York-themed remix in the past, and it never really gained much momentum. Even though he was involved in that project, most people still remember the original version rather than the remix. Because of that, some fans feel this latest release wasn't simply about showing love to the city. To them, it looks more like a response to everything happening around Remy Ma and the success she's been enjoying recently. Many people have also pointed out that Papoose still appears connected to Remy in ways that create confusion. Despite the public drama between them, their divorce has not been finalized. He still has a tattoo dedicated to her, and old photos featuring her remain visible on his social media pages. Some supporters argue that there may be legal reasons behind those decisions, and that's certainly possible. However, from an outsider's perspective, it creates mixed signals. When someone continues to hold on to reminders of a relationship while also engaging in public disputes connected to that same person, people naturally begin asking questions. It leaves room for speculation, whether that speculation is fair or not. Another reason people are talking is because some observers believe Papoose has started moving in the same direction as the projects and opportunities surrounding Remy. Critics argue that whenever she gains attention, he somehow finds himself entering a similar conversation shortly afterward. In this case, the focus was on New York, the Knicks, and a popular remix that was receiving major support. Then suddenly, another Knicks anthem appears. While there is nothing wrong with creating music inspired by a championship run, some people feel the timing makes it look less like coincidence and more like an attempt to join an already successful wave. The biggest criticism coming from social media is that some fans think Papoose struggles to let others enjoy their moment without inserting himself into the discussion. Whether that's a fair assessment or not depends on who you ask. Supporters will say he's simply staying active as an artist and participating in cultural moments that matter to New York. Critics, however, believe there is a pattern. They feel that whenever attention shifts elsewhere, especially toward Remy Ma, he finds a way to bring focus back to himself through interviews, social media posts, music releases, or public comments. Because this has happened multiple times, some people feel they are seeing a repeated cycle rather than isolated incidents. When it comes to the actual music, many listeners have shared mixed opinions. Some enjoyed the energy behind the Knicks anthem and appreciated the effort. Others felt that Fabulous delivered a stronger song connected to the celebration. Music is always subjective, so there will never be complete agreement. Still, one thing that stands out is how much discussion the release generated. In many cases, people seemed more interested in why the song was released than the song itself. The conversation quickly shifted away from the music and toward the ongoing situation involving Remy Ma. A lot of people believe Papoose has become overly focused on chasing a viral moment. Instead of creating something completely separate from what's already trending, Critics say he often watches what is receiving attention and then tries to place himself within that same spotlight. Whether that's intentional or not, that perception has continued to grow online. At some point, fans start asking why these situations keep happening and whether there is more behind the scenes than the public knows. The discussion became even bigger when Papoose appeared on Instagram during a time when New York was celebrating the Knicks. Instead of joining the excitement, he was seen speaking at length during a live stream that many viewers described as emotional. The setting itself became part of the conversation because nobody seemed to know exactly where he was. Some guessed it was his home, while others thought it could have been an apartment or another property connected to his family situation. Wherever he was, viewers noticed details that immediately caught attention. He appeared tired, had a drink nearby, and spent much of the live stream speaking about personal issues and people allegedly taking things from him. Many fans expected him to be celebrating the championship alongside everyone else. Instead, his comments left people confused. Some listeners felt he was speaking indirectly about situations in his personal life, while others struggled to understand what point he was trying to make. The live stream quickly became a topic of discussion across social media platforms, with people sharing clips and offering their own interpretations of what he meant. Then another twist entered the story. Reports began circulating that Papoose had released a championship song dedicated to the Knicks, and that Swizz Beatz was connected to the production. That immediately sparked curiosity because fans wanted to know how involved Swizz actually was. In previous years, Papoose had frequently tagged Swizz Beatz when discussing New York-themed music, even though he was not always part of the original records being celebrated. Meanwhile, Swizz continued promoting classic New York anthems and legendary artists associated with the city's culture. At the same time, artists such as Remy Ma, Alicia Keys, Fabulous, and French Montana were publicly celebrating the Knicks' success. Many of them posted photos wearing custom team-inspired jackets and participated in the excitement surrounding New York's big moment. Papoose chose a different route by creating his own anthem, which is completely within his rights as an artist. Still, many observers couldn't ignore the timing. Ever since Remy Ma appeared on the Ever Since You Left remix alongside French Montana and Max B, attention around that record has continued to grow. From the outside looking in, Papoose has appeared frustrated by some of the reactions. Rumors have even suggested that he was unhappy about her involvement in the remix, although there has been no verified evidence proving that claim. Like many celebrity stories, there are often rumors, assumptions, and incomplete information circulating at the same time. The conversation intensified again when Papoose shared the classic "Touch It" remix from years ago, seemingly reminding people of his contributions to hip-hop. Instead of receiving praise, however, many commenters responded by telling him to move on and allow Remy Ma to enjoy her success. Then another major development occurred when ESPN and ABC reportedly began using the Ever Since You Left remix as part of their Knicks-related coverage. A special Bronx and Knicks version was also created, with French Montana adjusting parts of his performance specifically for the occasion. That's a huge opportunity for any artist because exposure through major sports networks can introduce a song to millions of people. As the remix continued gaining attention, the debate surrounding Papoose, Remy Ma, and the timing of his own release only became bigger.